Natalie at Joe's Garage in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Today we're going to do a Mother's Day project, making an ID bracelet, and we're going to impress a wire word in copper onto our sterling blank, and then use a ball bead chain as a clasp. We're going to start with a sterling blank, 20 gauge, 3 inches by a 1/2 inch. File all the edges using your flat file. Remember to get inside and outside, the ends, the corners in particular, and then use emery paper to make it really nice. This is going to be next to your mom's wrist, so you want her to have it be very comfortable. Now in order to drill the holes, we want to do a center punch in the ends so that the drill can find it easily. I use I think it's a 2.5 millimeter punch for my dapping set, but it makes a little bit bigger spot for the drill to seat in. So I've already done it, but we tap those pretty lightly, and then you're ready to drill. Okay, I've drilled my little holes. If you feel anything rough, go ahead and file that, or emery. Use the emery paper to make that feel nice. I used a drill press. You could also use a punch. But for your info, I used a 1.53 drill bit, and that fits 16 gauge jump rings. We're going to do a little wire writing, and I have some patterns I've made for Mom and Ma. The differences here are this one and this one are the way I form the wire, and I keep it loose, and then when I tighten this one up with the pliers, it turns out to Mom, and when I tighten up that loose one, it's Ma. I think that's a new trendy way to refer to your mom, so keep that one in mind. So with my pliers, just with no great tips, it's just kind of work it through and form with the pliers until you can lay it right on the pattern and it's exactly what you have written. And all of that should fit on your blank without hanging over the sides, ideally. That'll make a little bit of an irregular. See, now I've got to bend that down a little bit. So that's where I'd like it to sit. I'm going to try and hold that in place. And I'm going to mark with a Sharpie-like pen. The back. I'm going to turn it over then. See that it's coming out from the points I marked. And then mark the wire right where it should be sticking out. Okay. Now I'm going to lay this on my brass sandwich. All right, I'm going to loosen my mill until I can fit the whole sandwich in. Then I'm going to tighten it down until it's grabbing. Okay, I can't pull it out. When it's about that tight, I'm going to back up. Now I'm going to give it a good tightening, like that far. Now I'm going to feed the whole thing through. That was probably tighter than I hoped. Ah! So I warped my metal pretty seriously. It's kind of cool anyway, but I'm gonna have to do some correction with the warping. You'll see my word is now flat, but as I said, it can be used again. We're gonna do what they said you should never do. We're gonna bind our sterling in steel wire and force it to get copper plated in the pickle. Here's what it looks like when it comes out of the pickle. That is my sterling blank, cleverly disguised as a copper scrap. There's no danger to my pickle because this binding wire has been removed with the sterling, so there's no longer the contamination factor going on. So then I'm going to just release it from the steel binding wire. Some of the copper will wipe off. But the part that's deep in the channel that we've pressed into the metal will stay. Yeah, filthy, but ooh. You're going to file everything down, and this will take a little bit of time. Oops, nice. Now you want to form it around some sort of mandrel to get the shape. I like to use the small end of my baseball bat mandrel. And then open it up. That gives it a pretty good wrist shape. Now I need to add my jump rings and then add the ball chain. So I open my jump rings with two bent nose flat chain nose flat bent nosed chain nose pliers. Wait, that would be flat bent chain nose pliers. So I've got one jump ring in place. These should be fine, not soldered. If you use 16 gauge like I have used, or thicker. Open cross, as opposed to pulling them apart. You want to open them sideways. Okay. And then the way I like to do this is to run it through twice. Sorry, run it through once, but letting it be doubled, letting the chain be doubled in the back. So I usually allot for 10 inches, but that's way plenty. I think I can just slip it on then. But you can size it exactly for what people want. And Mom will love you for it.